Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. It's 10:01 p.m., November 26, 2025. How are you doing? I apologize for my tardiness. Obviously, the usual suspects are involved. Uh, happy St. Leonard or Port Maurice Day. Another one is Venerable Alypius? Alypius the Stylite. If you don't know who he is, I got him on the Sense of Fidelium playlist for today. Let's just say he stayed on a pillar for 57 years. I was telling the kids always ask for a saint story at the end of the day. So I go, okay, we talk about Leonard and Maurice for a little bit, and him, and they were, what did he do? How did he come down? He never came down. What did he do? Did he do? How did he eat? Well, they brought baskets up. Did he stay in the rain? Yeah. And we have a 2-year-old, so there's a crib. I said, it's about the size of his crib that he stayed in. He didn't walk around. He just stayed in this pillar about that big for 57 years. How many people complain about sitting down in the same spot for 20 minutes? This guy climbed the pillar in the middle of Egypt, I think it was, and lived on a pillar for 57 years. Obviously, there was miracles all over the place. People would come up and pray for, asking for prayers, have him pray for them, all this stuff. It's a cool story if you want to go read it. First time watching 10 seconds, I'm already amused. Happy to have Julie, I appreciate that. That's the whole key about this is amusement. Have some fun. If you can't laugh, you'll cry because today isn't as bad as normally. If you look at the other shows, it could, if you don't have a sense of humor, you might come out black-pilled. But anyways, let's get right to it. Faith Reborn, once a future king, President DJT says America is finding its way back to church and to God. What church and what God and what religion? We don't know, but hey, we're finding our way back to it. Quote, we have more people praying that churches are coming back. Religion is coming back to America. Some say, oh, why would you mention that? To me, that's a big deal. Again, which religion? Which one of the 31 Baskin-Robbins flavors are we returning to? Because I guarantee the people that are jumping up and down about that aren't going to be saying, yeah, they're turning Catholic. No, they're not saying that at all. Let's see, go on. It was cute. Nice little bumper sticker thing. But hey, when you're ethnically cleansing people and dropping bombs on Somalia because the day ends in Y, I guess you can, and most people are so desensitized and distracted by other things that they don't know you're doing that. I guess you can say, hey, God's blessing America while we blow up half the planet. Here's Derek Evans. A high school in Jackson County, Georgia, is the first school in the world to use this tech, where all the students on the simulators are working together on the same job site. This is incredible. We need this across the country. Of course we do. And in a sense, this is just another idea of that technocratic way. It's good that you're getting some, I guess, training out of it. But I mean, the same thing goes with the drone dealers. You get training out of video games, and you can be able to blow up somebody with a push of a button. Not the same as real life experiences, but I guess it's better than nothing. It's kind of like flight simulators in a sense, except, I mean, you can tell it's a game in a way. But again, I guess it's better than nothing. Excuse me, let me try this for my English-speaking people. Is a Trump UFO bombshell coming? Documentary filmmaker Dan Farrar has boldly predicted that once a future king, President DJT could be the first world leader to spill the beans on UFOs, dropping a major announcement about non-human tech and extraterrestrial intel, sparking feverish speculation. Is this engineered hype to divert from global flashpoints or a seismic shift toward transparency? I would say distraction beyond distraction, because, hey, people are going to get upset about those, the flock cameras. Oh, more people are seeing what's going on that. Oh, wait, here's UFOs. Look over here. Oh, by the way, yes, it's Happy Turkey Eve Day. Turkey Day Eve. For those in these United States, it's Turkey Day Eve, the most holiest holy day and holy day of holy days for the state religion. By the way, remember I told you yesterday, the Pilgrims created it to combat Christmas. It was the Southerners that said, "Go pound sand. We're having Christmas. You can take your turkey and stuff it." DC, now on serious news, DC gunfire. 2 National Guard troops shot just blocks from the White House as Trump slams animal and West Wing put on lockdown. The 2 guards were part of a contingent of troops deployed to Washington over the summer. And during that summer, most of them were planting daisies, tilling the yard, making some hedge, chopping the hedges off. So I don't know why somebody would do this. I'm tired of hearing about aliens every time they want. Yeah, I know. It gets a little old. It's the same distractions. Somebody had a great line. We deserve better distractions, or no, we deserve better psyops. That was it. Someone said, who was it there? I just saw your text about that. You heard they were unarmed. I don't know. We'll check it out here because the U.S. Sun is always the go-to on sources. Let's see, Mass National Guard shooting happened at the corner of 17th and 8th Streets in the northwest quadrant of the city, roughly 2 blocks. West by God, Virginia's Governor Patrick Morrissey claimed 2 National Guard members from his state tragically died. Then he appeared to backtrack and said he was receiving conflicting reports about the condition of 2 Guard members. He initially said, "Is with great sorrow we can confirm both members of the West Virginia National Guard who were shot earlier today. They shouldn't even been there since it's West Virginia's Guard, not the D.C. Guard. A man in military fatigues, was seen lying in a stretcher inside the ambulance, blah, 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 taken into custody." Trump wrote on social, "The animal that shot the 2 National Guardsmen were both critically wounded and now in 2 separate hospitals, is now severely wounded. But regardless, we'll pay a very steep price." Trump was in West Palm Beach Golf Course when the shooting took place. Okay, Levitt said the White House is aware and actively monitoring this tragic situation. The president has been briefed, not that he could do anything about it. And that's not a slam on him. What do you guys want to do? What do you want to do about it? I mean, don't see anything about armed or unarmed in there. At least 1 helicopter landed National Mall. Spokesperson for the Mayor Browser said the local leaders were monitoring the situation. So a lot of people were just talking about it. There's a lot of yapping going on. No one has anything else to offer. The Independent, Washington, D.C. shooter latest. Trump condemns heinous assault as suspect identified as Afghan refugee. Of course. Can we check off the box? Let's make one. Afghan refugee. Is he tranny? Let's get the check. We're going to have check marks all over the place. There's a shooting every 10 seconds. And if you're in Chicago, there's a shooting every time you breathe. The suspect in Washington shooting was earlier identified by multiple outlets as 29-year-old Afghan national who entered the country in September 2021. Hey, forgot just to check, remember. Didn't DJT said it was the most peaceful place in the history of peaceful places the other day? Trump condemned, and I think it's a darn false flag, to be honest. Department of Homeland Security, they're going to lock everything. They're going to enact the Insurrection Act, I guarantee. I have high confidence. Let's just say that. The FYI, I did hear that they were armed and that the assassin tried to take their guns, but who knows what the press messed up this time. Pretty much everything. Civility is becoming an archaic word. Yes, again, and that goes back to why is everyone bad? Centralization. If you have federalism, you get rid of this whole government. DC controls everything. You won't have everyone ticked off all the time. It's my team versus their team, and if this guy ends up enacting a law from C to C, then it's over and all that stuff. That's why you have these problems right there. It's because of everything's just centralized. We want more centralization. The Department of Homeland Security is confident that the suspect is in custody as a foreigner who entered the country from Afghanistan, a hellhole on earth, Trump said in his inflammatory address. You tell him. He was flown in. He was flown in by the Brandon administration September 21, of course, even though you're on the golf course and you all of a sudden know exactly who, where, what, when, and all on the fifth hole. Come on now. It's like after 2001. Oh, we know who it was. It was Osama bin Laden. Yeah. Seconds after it happened, we know who it was. I digress. His status is extended under legislation signed by Brandon, a disastrous president, the worst in the history of our country. Okay, whatever. They're always going to say that. Trump then called for a re-examination of every single alien who has entered our country from Afghanistan under Brandon, adding that all necessary measures would be taken to remove those who do not belong or add benefit to our country. Officials still working on background this evening. Okay, yeah. DC will be on lockdown until further notice. Sec War, used to be SecDef. Secretary of War Hedsec just laid down the law, says cheerleader Gunther Egelman, and informed the public that there will be a massive surge of military in the DC. We are going to turn this bad boy into a police state that you've never seen. It's time to send a clear message. Someone decided to target National Guardsmen. That will only stiffen our resolve. We will never back down. We will secure our capital. We will secure our cities. It's time to get it done. Oh boy, buckle up, Buttercup. If you're inside the United States border, good night. They're gonna go all out. Watch. Were there any passports that fell from the sky? Benedicta with the quote of the day so far. Eagleman, should President Trump invoke the Insurrection Act after the National Guard troops were shot in D.C.? And as someone else had with the actually working brain cells, we don't even know what happened or who the shooter is yet. Quit chomping at the bit for more discord in the country. We're suffering enough because people can't just talk to each other and be semi-decent anymore. Yep. Let me see if there's any more talk. Insurrection Act. I put this together 5 hours ago, so things could have changed. Let's see. Time to invoke the Insurrection Act. Enough is enough, says Gao. Yay. How many people does Gao have to her? Not that. She's not that big. Let's see. Eric Doherty. Trump should vote 2 hours ago the Insurrection Act to carry out a swift mass arrests and deportations at an even higher rate that we're seeing right now. All foreign Muslims from Afghanistan, illegal alien, has launched an ambush on our troops. Do it. This fits the time and place. This act is meant to be invoked. These guys wait for that to happen. Yeah, here's subsection 252, use of militia and armed forces to enforce federal authority. Whenever the president considers an unlawful obstructions, combinations, or assemblages, or rebellion against the authority of these United States, make it impracticable to enforce the laws of the United States in any state by the ordinary course of judicial proceedings, he may call into federal service such of the militia of any state and use such of the armed forces as he considers necessary to enforce those laws or to suppress the rebellion. Remember, one person decided to shoot somebody and they all want the police state to come on steroids. Throw out the Constitution. I'll show them. Well, I mean, that thing's been toilet paper since 1798. It became confetti in the 1860s. So, I mean, it's kind of just like a photo now, just like they have the auto pen photo. It's pretty much the exact same as the auto pen photo up there. Just like the Patriot Act. Amen. Yep. It'll be the blank check that keeps on paying. The left has decided to change tactics. They are no longer to protest against ICE. They decided to murder innocent National Guard troops. This is directed to seditious six. Insurrection Act now. Yeah, of course, it's the lefty. Even if it's an Afghani guy, how do you know if it's a lefty? What does that mean? Insurrection Act now. Call J.G. Wentworth. Insurrection Act now. Alex, here's more. All right. So there's Mega Voice, who ended up finding out doesn't live in this area. Yeah, they're that whole thing. It could be a VPN thing, but I think MAGA Voice is in Sweden, Poland, one of the two. Who else thinks President Trump should invoke the Insurrection Act to carry out mass deportations and arrests? Woo! Go Patriot Act. Go police state. The Insurrection Act exists for a reason. Eisenhower was praised for deploying the 101st Airborne over peaceful protest. We demand Trump send 101 times as many. Yeah. Here's some photo from, I guess, video from the shooting. Yeah. Hey, Steve, that's actually, well, I mean, he's going with the January 6th thing. I mean, he's right about this. 2 National Guardsmen is not an insurrection. I played it before. There was an actual insurrection, and one was at Delhi, when they actually took the capital of the country and burned it basically to the ground. That was an insurrection. Yeah, I'm not too far from that. I see this ended up with the unheading of Christians. That will be used against you. Yes. Hey, Amy, you're so late that I was late, and you're really late. I was late, and you're really late. Yep. Stephen Zionist Miller. What I am thankful for this Thanksgiving, I praise God every day that Donald Trump is our president. No more illegals, no more refugees, and finally a country that puts American citizens first. That's cute. Can you give us the Epstein reports? Only a Zionist shill could say that with a straight face. And only another Zionist shill could look at him and not say, "Are you on drugs?" Carolyn Levitt from tagging CBS News. Your tax refund could be $1,000 higher in 2026. Well, hey, thanks. That's so nice of you guys. You're gonna give back $1,000 of the money that you stole from us. The analyst aligns with other forecasts predicting a bumper year for tax refunds, driven by the one big beautiful tax and spending law signed by President Trump back in July. Blackthorn, a bigger refund mostly means the IRS held more of your money for longer. It does not automatically mean you paid less tax overall. If this law really lowers lifetime tax burden for the middle class, great, but that is what should be debated, not the size of the springtime rebate. Also worth asking, will the same people cheering a one-time refund bump stay quiet if brackets, credits, or state and local deductions quietly shift in the other way? Both parties love to sell tax time in as tax cuts. Voters should be asking a simpler question. Over the next 10 years, how much total do I keep after tax and inflation on my actual paycheck? And that was actually one of the things. Is it New Hampshire? Yeah, the independent New Hampshire movement has a list of 70 things that reasons why they should leave these United States. And the number one reason, it says you'll get a pay raise because 40% of your income will not be stolen immediately if you leave these United States. The income tax does not apply anymore. I'm going, how many people will actually fight that? I mean, that's the number one salesman, right? There's 69 afterwards are just as good, but number one, you're going to get 40. You're going to keep your entire paycheck. How's that not a salesman? Like, you know what? I'm listening. Tell me more. Tell me more. Tell me more. Does he have a car? No, because he had to spend a 15-year payment for that thing. But anyways, yes. Yeah, if you leave, there's no more income tax, which should be abolished because, oh, by the way, Lincoln, who established Thanksgiving, was the first president to create a national income tax. Didn't become an amendment till later, but yep, he was the first one to come up with it. Your Turkey Day, Thanksgiving turkey could be more expensive this year. Tariffs are a big culprit. Now, if you listen to people online, you're going to say it's Star Spangled Awesome right now. My turkey is the cheapest turkey I've ever had of turkeys. It's the turkeyest turkey of ever turkeys. Holy this turkey is actually making me money. Some of the guys will probably be saying, but yes, it's a little bit more pricey than it is now. Everything's pricey. Russian general in Venezuela leading advisory mission, Ukraine's intel chief. The long-standing Russian mission in Venezuela is not directly related to the ongoing U.S. military buildup in the Caribbean. GPS interference snarls Venezuela as U.S. warns of hazardous strikes. An invisible wall of electromagnetic noise has descended over the Caribbean, forcing commercial flights to divert and cancel routes over Venezuela since late last week. For a smartphone user on the ground in Caracas, this interference might just mean a slow map load or jumping blue dot. For an aircraft cruising at 30,000 feet, the implications are far more severe. So they got jammers. The GPS jamming surges to levels disrupting flights. The maximum amount of GNSS noise observed weekly compared to the same week in 2024 shows that noise has reached levels that interfere with aircraft and satellites. I don't know that song too much. Well, let me go ahead and check it. Generals singing in their masses, just like witches at black masses. IDF killed more than 100,000. If you're new to the program, yes, I like singing war pigs right before I click on antiwar.com. I call it the War Pigs edition of the show. Thank you very much. IDF killed more than 100,000 in Gaza. Heavy rain floods Gaza camps as UN warns a bleak situation. Man, you talk about what if they not only ethnic cleanse them, but then they tried drowning them by seeding the sky and making it flood Gaza. UN condemns torture, but U.S. and Israel oppose resolution. The White House backs Witkoff after leaked call. Zelensky wants to meet with Trump as soon as possible. U.S. B-52 bomber. Now I got B-52s playing in my head. In the love shack, baby. Bomber flies near Venezuela's coast. Rand Paul warns Trump war in Venezuela will fracture movement. We talked about that already. Israel killed 127 civilians since the truce in Lebanon. And see, AFRICOM confirms 101st airstrike in Somalia. It was 100 just the other day. I think it was Tuesday. What is today? Wednesday? Well, that was tomorrow, yesterday. I think he hit 100 on Monday. So we're setting records here. Epstein aided attack on Mearsheimer's Israeli lobby. Trump orders 500 National Guard to D.C. after shooting of troops because you got one guy who did this. So we're going to bring in a darn army. It's kind of like we're overreacting just a smidgen, just tiny bit. I mean, there's a shooting gas, don't you? You don't see everyone calling for the Green Beret to come in. I mean, let's get real here. CNN exclusive. Colombian president says oil is at the heart of U.S. pressure campaign on Venezuela. And Ray Charles saw that coming too. I mean, who didn't know that? Oh, there's a few people that didn't get it, but yes, that's why. The athlete trolling his way through jiu-jitsu's culture wars. Brazilian jiu-jitsu has been increasingly embraced by right-wing influencers. Jones is an unlikely counterforce. I think there's a reason for this. I can't remember why. There's the world's greatest second grabber. Oh, keep jiu-jitsu gay. That's why it was. Those and two other former, so he plays on the other team, I think. I think that's it. Man's. I'm pretty sure he's not saying keep jiu-jitsu happy or fun or because Christmas coming up. Gay, happy, and bright. Oh, what was the deal? I saw it this morning. Friends, powerlifting. Something happened today about that. Why was that on the news today? Staying with trends. Okay, there's absolutely nothing on here on that. There was a story on TV this morning. Something about, I think they kept the records together. They're now letting that happen. there was something else going on. Let me see if X has it. Why? It was like I said, it was on Fox News today. I was at the gym. I saw it. Was going by trans power. Oh yeah, Eric Trump is at the American Bitcoin. To the moon, powerlifting. Don't worry, we'll have the cryptocurrency coming our ways. I don't know. There it is. Breaking trans news. I just learned that biological male Audrey Young has taken first place in the women's podium again. This time at the Victorias. Okay, that might have been why. I don't know. I'm sorry. I got my ADD kicked in, and I was like, I remember something that happened about that, and I don't remember what the deal was. All right, a new Putin calendar is here. A man for every season. Mark, I know what I'm getting you for Christmas. January shows a Russian leader astride in a snowmobile for February. He flips a judo partner. In August, he offers advice. My recipe for energy: sleep little, work a lot, and don't whine. The Putin calendar. I got some friends I could get a Putin calendar for. I think they would like the Putin calendar. Mark, come on, man. Everybody. All right, here's the deal. Mark lives in Cedar Rapids. Everyone send Mark a Putin calendar for Christmas or for Epiphany or for the St. Nicholas Day. How about that? St. Nicholas Day. Pope Leo surprises ravers by blessing a crowd during a DJ set. So in just a month, we've had Pope blessing ICE and DJ set. So in theory, I guess he could be Ice Ice Baby. Sorry, I still can't get over the ice thing. And if you're new to the program, my Christmas present I want to get to other people is the printout photo of Leo blessing the ice and give it away to friends of mine. No, I have not seen Putin's Palace. Putin's Palace? No, Putin's Palace? No, they haven't seen it. Didn't know there was a documentary. He did give an apostolic blessing for being there. Okay, good. I mean, he wasn't literally there. I think he was just on a speaker. I don't think he was literally there. And he gave a blessing. And then I know it's not cool afterwards with the rave. I don't know what the deal is. I got nothing. There's nothing. I mean, I know people got mad about it, but I'm going like, what are you going to do about that one? What can we do? We just pray, hope, don't worry, literally do all the stuff like that, become holier. Hopefully we'll merit better and work for conversions of people that think that going to raves are good, or clerics that think that raves are good, but really nothing we can do about it. I mean, we can make 100 videos and make a lot of, hits and all that by trashing the Pope on that, but I guess that's it. Horror. The horror as Connor State College player Ethan Dietz dies from in-game head injury. Sophomore player at Connor State College in Oklahoma died Tuesday from an injury suffered during a game, school officials said. Dietz, a 6'8" forward from Arkansas, was injured during the second half of the game against Grayson College in Texas, the school said on a post on its Facebook page. Terrible. I can't remember. It doesn't say how he got hit. Several games were canceled. Visual designer. I wonder what happened. He got an elbow to the head or something. Woman with family connected to the White House press secretary arrested by ICE in Revere, Massachusetts. Ain't that something? A woman with a family connection to White House Secretary Carolyn Levitt has been arrested by ICE agents in Revere, Massachusetts. The woman, Bruna Friera, has an 11-year-old son, and Michael Levitt, Carolyn Levitt's brother, with Michael Levitt, her brother. Ferreira migrated with her family to the United States from Brazil as a child and is currently in custody at an ICE facility in southern Louisiana. Michael Levitt released a statement Tuesday saying that his only concern has always been the safety, well-being, and privacy of his son. Huh? His only concern has always been the safety, well-being, and privacy of his son. What about your wife? Is that his wife, or is it something like his woman? Has an 11 years old. Okay, so they're not married. It's, I guess, Michael's boo, I guess, from before. Michael Levitt released a statement Tuesday saying that his only, we already said that. In a conversation with WCBB TV sister station at WMUR TV, Michael Levitt, a New Hampshire resident, said that his son lives with him and his wife full time, but that Ferrara has maintained a relationship with her son. Michael Levitt told WMUR that he has always tried to maintain a relationship with Ferrara. He said their son has not spoken to her since she was detained by ICE several weeks ago. Todd Palminero, whatever, an attorney who represents Ferrara, said she came to the U.S. under DACA, or the Deferred Action of Childhood Arrivals, an Obama-era program that shielded immigrants brought to the country from deportation. She's in the process of actually getting her residency, and she was abruptly arrested and taken from her young child right before Thanksgiving. So again, that goes back to the whole thing what I was talking about before. You're arresting the worst of the worst. You're arresting people that are trying to go through the right way. That's not the first time I've heard somebody getting arrested trying to get everything taken care of. There was a guy that got arrested back when it started in the darn line trying to get everything. He was having a meeting to get his papers situated, and they arrested him there. You know, the worst of the worst. Mm-hmm. You gotta see raves mean drugs. Yeah, they're pretty much all druggies. The raves usually are druggies. The individual is a mother of Caroline's nephew and have not spoken to her in years. The child has lived full time in New Hampshire with his father. Blah 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 blah. The Department of Homeland Security spokesperson also released the following statement on February her arrest. ICE arrested Bruna, a criminal illegal alien from Brazil. That's kind of a stretch, huh? Darn. What was she a criminal of? She came in under the law and is actually trying to get in to get everything taken care of. How the heck is that a criminal? Anyway, she was previously arrested for battery. She has a previous arrest for battery. Oh, wow. Okay, whatever. She entered the U.S. on a B-2 tourist visa that required her to depart the U.S. by June 6, 1999, the statement read. She is currently in the South Louisiana ICE Processing Center and is in removal proceedings. Under Trump and Secretary Noem, all individuals unlawfully present in these United States are subject to deportation unless Trump likes them or uses them. Then they're totally cool, and no question needs to be done. If you don't know, he's got his own illegals that he's talked about. We got to take care of. We got to do amnesty for the service industry, hotel people, things like that, and cooks, and people that work at Mar-a-Lago. Bruna has no criminal record whatsoever, her attorney said. I don't know where that is coming from. Show us the proof. There's no charges out there. She's not a criminal illegal alien. Here, say what you want about ICE. If they're lying about that right there, what they can do? They can lie about, they can lie about anybody. I mean, yes, exactly. Or if they're Saudis, because if you don't know, Saudi Arabia gave Trump $1 trillion. And then Trump 5 minutes afterwards says, oh, we're going to bring in all the Saudi people to work here. My fans aren't going to like it, but they're coming anyways. You guess how many cheerleaders talked about that? Zero. He might send out a text. You text about this. You tweet about this. You're done. Yes, and that. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Family of Levitt's nephew blasts her for ignoring ICE detention. Good on them. White House Press Secretary Levitt has been eviscerated over her refusal to help a one-time loved one detained by ICE. Good, because you look at her, that's the person detained, and she looks like a criminal of criminals. If she's not the worst of the worst, then who is? If they could send Steve back. If I go through, I haven't flown in quite some time. Probably never will again. But if you put me through TSA, there's probably a good chance that It's one of my flaws. I can't. I get in. I'm fine. I'm a decent guy. I think I'm a decent guy until I get into the TSA line, and then I don't know, something changes, and it's not fun. I start yapping. I try to tell everybody about how terrible the thing situation. I am not a. It's kind of like my wife's in the background just doing this. We're gonna miss our plane because of this guy. See, if she were here, if she were to help in any way, if she were willing to do anything to help us, she would have reached out by now. She has my phone number. We've been family for the last 13 years. Dos Santos Rodriguez told the Globe, I understand the policies and how it looks, but I also think when it comes to family, you put certain things aside. I don't care who you work for. Let's see, making the matter even more bizarre, Dos Santos Rodriguez revealed that some in the Levitt family, including her child's father, pushed her to self-deport after she was detained back to a country where she has no home and hardly speaks the language. They just keep saying, tell her to self-deport, she told the Globe. Self-deport to where? Brazil is not her home. They're trying to push it off as a vacation. That's not a vacation. Bruna barely speaks the language. Levitt 28 has not addressed the situation. Department of Homeland Security top person Tricia McLaughlin, which we've talked about many times last week during the debacle here in Charlotte, said in a statement that Ferrara had a previous arrest for battery. What did she do? Beat a kitty? Look at her. What did she get battery for? She overstayed her visa in 99 when she was merely a kid. Under Trump, no, we already talked about that. Ferrara was living as a developing story. This is amazing. So, autistic teen released from ICE custody after 50 days following family's desperate search. Again, one of the worst of the worst. You know, this kid with autism. 15-year-old in Houston with severe learning disabilities was held by the Office of Refugee Resettlement for 48 days, despite his mother's pleas for him to be released into her care. They could be all illegal. Then get him with his family, then deport him. You don't just grab the kid with autism and lock him up for 2 months. I don't know about good. I'm just that guy. There's a line from the Addams Family. I am that fool. That's me. Yeah. But no, it's one of these. Is deportation fine? You got people want to deport. I get it. Illegal, get it. But do it the right way. Have some, as the Pope is even saying, have some humanity with this. Who's out there going to defend this? You throw an autistic kid that's 15 years old, rip him from the family, throw him in prison, or throw him in a pokey for 50 days. On October 4th, Emmanuel Gonzalez Garcia, 15-year-old with autism, was working with his mom and sister at a fruit stand in Houston, Texas. Then he was gone. Her son must have wandered off. Mami no está ni el niño. Filed a missing persons immediately. For 6 days, Maria and her community searched frantically for Emmanuel. When it turns out Emmanuel was found by Houston firefighters less than 24 hours after being reported missing, Maria wasn't informed of his whereabouts for 6 whole days. Instead of reuniting the severely disabled kid with his mom, police turned the kid over to ICE. That makes total sense. Let's keep going before I blow a fuse. We've detected lightning on Mars for the first time. Good night, everybody. I'm out. Mark, take over. Scientists analyzed 28 hours of recordings over 2 Martian years, listening for electrical signals. Hey, they're putting it up for some kind of. Well, Elon wants to go to Mars too. Dust devils on Mars could be brewing electric currents, and scientists may have just heard them strike the arid landscape in the first of its kind discovery. Planetary scientists detected new evidence of lightning on Mars and sounds and electrical signals captured by the Perseverance rover, suggesting the red planet's dusty surface causes electrification. Astronomers have long theorized that lightning exists on Mars, but have thus far failed to find direct evidence of it. We're going to come up with something. Hey, did you see that? That flash? Lightning, baby. This new study published on Wednesday in the journal Nature further depends our understanding of Mars's atmosphere and may have implications for future human-led missions to the neighboring planet. A total of 55 events were detected over a period of 2 Martian years, nearly 4 years on Earth. The majority of the time when lightning was detected, it correlated with strong winds on Mars, dust devils, and dust storms. The Miami Beach restaurant with the $1,000 steak reopens with a bang. Just in time for the holiday season, Poppy Steak is back to popping bottles once again and making steak great again. The popular South Beach Clubstaurant, what the heck is Clubstaurant, owned by buddies David Grutman and David Einhorn, Finkel and Einhorn, shut temporarily. Wish that guy was named Finkel. How great would that be? Shut temporarily in September and just reopened its doors after an extensive blow-up. Still on the menu are the fabulous entrees, including the famed $1,000 Australian Wagyu 55-ounce tomahawk, served with a lit-up briefcase by sparkler-waving, white-gloved servers. Would be cool. $1,000, how you go into bankruptcy afterwards. But yeah, the people that go there probably, blow their noses with $100 bills. It's just like a $5 steak. No, it's co-owned by Bad Buddy. Yeah. $1,000. Ex-mistress of former Google CEO Eric Schmidt accuses tech titan of rape, creepy surveillance, court documents. And if you know anything about Eric Schmidt, that's just the beginning. And we won't go down into lower. Grief bots are helping people stay connected with loved ones who have died. And we kind of talked about this last week. By the way, the video I did with Father Ripcord last week on AI, and I played a video of the lady that recorded the new app that they're coming out with, that you can record your grandma or anybody and then play her for the next 50 years, and the AI will act like it's a living person that you're talking to. Anyway, Italy banned that. So I didn't get a strike or anything, but YouTube wasn't happy with that. I was like, who banned it? Italy, of all places. I was like, that's not even an Italian show or commercial. The tech CEO has said the AI world means that what is real and what is not real starts to evolve as he changes how people cope with grief by creating chatbots with the personality of departed loved ones. Justin Harrelson started You Only Virtual, YOV, after his mother was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. The company began to preserve his relationship with his mother, building a digital avatar of her known as a persona before or after she passed away. Okay. The AI was trained on text messages and phone calls between Mr. Harrison and his mother while she was alive, alongside using voice memos and videos to capture her voice. The free version of YOV allows access to the AI chatbots similar to ChatGPT, but with the loved one's personality. See, there you go, right there, the bottom part right there. That's the video that I got Italy banned. Again, these grown adults that can't cope, they can't move on, don't know how to handle any of that, and they create an individual person afterwards. Did I air? There he goes. High-powered microwave technology is the holy grail of drone interceptors. HPM offers rapid neutralization of swarms, while lasers, give me a laser, and costly missiles provide precision strikes against individual drones. Man, we're at 45 minutes. Holy cow. I didn't think we'd go anywhere near that. This day in history, the premiere of Casablanca, 1942. 2020, following the mass trial, hundreds of people were sentenced to prison for life in court of Turkey for their roles in the Pharaoh coup. against Turkish President Erdogan in 2016. 2011, the Mars rover Curiosity was launched from Cape Canaveral, Florida. 2008, 10 gunmen associated with something. A Pakistan-based Islamist group launched the serious coordinated terrorist attacks in Mumbai. 300 were injured, 166 killed. 1982, Yashiroro, leader of the Liberal Democratic Party, was elected Prime Minister of Japan. 1948, the first Polaroid Model A95 camera was sold in a Boston department store. Polaroid went extinct because they didn't want to digitalize. They thought it was just going to keep on going. 1941, U.S. Secretary of State Cordell Hull sent a harsh notice to Japan, calling for a full withdrawal from China and Indochina. 1935, singer Tina Turner was born in Brownsville, Tennessee. 1925, after the defeat of the White Russians and the Chinese, the Black Russians, I'm just kidding, the Mongolian People's Republic was proclaimed. 1917, the NHL was founded and featured 4 Canadian teams. The first American club, the Boston Bruins, was added in 1924. 1909, some Romanian-born French dramatist whose one act on anti-play inspired the revolution in dramatic techniques to help inaugurate the theater of absurd was born. 1894, Nicholas II, the last Tsar of Russia, married Alexandra. 1883, Sojourner Truth, the African-American evangelist and reformer who applied her religious fervor to the abolitionist and women's rights movement, died. 579, Pelagius II succeeded Benedict I as Pope. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Ungodly people in the best viewer stream move removes the space. I don't know who that is. Blame the Bill Gates Foundation. Yes, amen. Anyway, I'll go ahead and get out of here. Thank you guys for checking in. Like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. Below is the show notes. Click that link. It'll take you exactly to everything that we went through. Share it with your friends who don't believe anything that you tell them. God bless. I'll see you tomorrow for, I don't know what we call Thursday. But anyways, Turkey Day, I'm still going to do stuff because I don't care about Turkey Day. Have a great rest of the night. We're Catholic. With Thanksgiving, we give thanks every day. Give thanks every hour of the day. I don't need a day. I don't need Lincoln to tell me when to do it. Again, anyway, have a great night. Talk tomorrow.